Welcome back to the Neshoba Valley Chamber of Business Buzz. My name is Melissa Federhoff. I'm the president and CEO of the Neshoba Valley Chamber. And I am not going to do your names justice because I don't have the most amazing accent. I have like probably a New England Boston accent. So I'm going to let you two gentlemen introduce yourselves. So from Katallage Wellness Clinic right here in Shirley, Mass. So I'm going to have you introduce yourself.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Henri Balaguera, and I am a physician and working in the clinic in Shirley since May 2023. So we are soon to celebrate our third year in this wonderful and welcoming and warming place in the earth.
Okay, my name is Adolfo Valhuerdi. I'm a neurological coach, and I'm working for the last year here with Dr. Balaguera and all the team, the Katallage Wellness Center team. It's an amazing place. This Shirley place is perhaps so quiet, so warm.
Nice.
Then it's an amazing place to heal.
Wonderful. So you guys are relatively new members with the chamber. Tell us a little bit about your clinic.
Katallage Clinic is a life experience. Katallage means reconciliation, and is a clinic that was created and designed to promote well-being. Some people call that holistic therapy with an H. We call that holistic therapy with W, because it's tried to be a practice where people come to experience well-being through reconciliation with her or himself. Currently, we are very much focused on what we call chronic diseases. We have an amazing program led by Dr. Valhuerdi. Is called Brain Wellness Recovery. The goal, the purpose, and the actions we are doing right now is helping people to reverse dementia and cognitive impairment and memory impairment. And he is a master on that. We are also focused on helping people in the management of cancer, not as a disease of a tumor, but a disease of a fear. With the whole idea of reversing the causes of cancer to reverse the cancer. And the other component that we are working are the heart, brain diseases, cardiometabolic diseases, and autoimmune diseases. All of those entities consider as the way the body is telling us that we need something that we have lost inside us. And the body, being so generous with us, our body, expressed as a disease. Disease for us is not a something unfortunate, is an imbalance that has a root cause. If we find through the person life experiences what the root cause is, most likely the consequence of that cause abates, moved out, disappear. The body brings us the imbalance, the disease, but the body with some tools is so generous that allows us to regain full wellness. That's my short answer to your question.
So that's amazing. It's a lot of information though.
We are amazing. She's right.
So understanding brain wellness, like how do conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's, how do they actually begin?
In this country where we have good amount of data, dementia in terms of biology begins about the age, are you ready? About the age of 33. Right now, we are helping people with significant memory issues and cognitive issues. The youngest is about 28.
Wow.
It's a progression. Is take time to get into dementia, but the first changes start to in early ages. Three things seems to be the major driven factors of dementia, not just in this country but in the world. Number one, in terms of the most common, number one, lifestyle. Lifestyle that many people talk and we don't know what it is basically how do I eat, move, sleep, have a relationships, and how can I cope with my stress. Number two has to do with what I take every day in my mouth and through my life experiences. If I live in a place where there is a lot of stress, frustration, suffering, toxic relationships, I live in a situation where every day, instead of growing, I am consuming myself, unbeknownst to me many times. So that's the second component. And the third component of the reason for dementia in this country is the quality of nutrition that we receive today. Again, unbeknownst to us, we tend to consume a lot of processed products. We are getting, because of the situations in our life, away from the tree to the mouth, and instead of that, from the tree to the truck to the place where this food is processed, is modified. Chemicals are added because they need to be preserved, go to a shelf, and then we consume. In this long process, we lost the most direct contact and the most healthy contact. Those things are translated in the brain in what we call excessive oxidation. Like when you see a rusty bicycle, car, that oxidation, little by little, it start to cause damage in the brain, which in English means we start to lose brain cells. And as we lose brain cells, the brain starts to become smaller. You are now losing neurons. And that's the key. We can make new brain cells through our lifestyle. Going to sleep at night and wake up in the morning. There is a new concept in this country called social luck. Social luck is I go to play games or with my friends and it's 4 in the morning and I'm still up. So that change start to change my body, the cells in my body that need to adjust to a new schedule. Next day I go to sleep at 8 p.m. The next day I go to sleep at 1 a.m. So I create this imbalance in my body that obviously the body feel it. It's like you imagine that you are going to date somebody and one day is at 5 in the afternoon, the next day at 9 p.m., the next time is at 1 a.m., then it's at 8 a.m. You might at some point say, this is crazy, I need to work, eat, sleep. I can't keep this relationship, it's killing me. The same happened with the body. We tell to the person we're dating, look, can't date you anymore because I am getting sick. The body, being resilient, say, I hope Melissa or Adolfo or Henry are going to step back, but we keep going and going and going. So the body being so nice decide to give us a disease, like a warning. The first warning is, I just met you and say, your name? Melissa. 3 minutes later say, I say, wow, I am now becoming aware that I am losing my memory. That's the first sign when we subjectively consider that we are losing memory. That's the first sign that we need to do something. Dr. Valhuerdi has already reversed about 11 people.
Wow.
30 years working on reversing. And by the way, we have a plan to bring a program here in Shirley where people can have access to his amazing gift.
So let's talk a little bit about testing and early detection.
Early detection, the most simple is when I say, I'm forgetting things. Is we call subjective because there is nothing but my perception. And that's considered the first sign at any age. That's the most common and the most easy to manage because it can be reversed. We use a simple test called a smelling test. Happen that to remember smells, we use memory. Particular part of the brain, when I say how the banana smell, I don't need to explain. I know how it smells. How the coffee smell, Dr. Valhuerdi loves coffee. He doesn't need to think. He knows. So we go and test the person. We offer them smells that are very common. Coffee, orange, chocolate.
Okay.
I give it to you and you say, I don't know. That's the first sign that the place of the brain called hippocampus, it's a little place of the brain that, by the way, we can measure with a special imaging called MRI. They take a picture of the brain, and with a software, we can calculate the size of the hippocampus where the memory resides. We can tell the person, wow, you lost 30%, 40%, 60%. We are going to do these treatments which are available, and we start to treat the people. About 1 year treatment of lifestyle, exercise, changing the way we eat and what we eat, what we put in our mouth. That are the most important fundamental changes because we are changing the root cause. We are not changing the consequence. We try to modify what caused the problem instead of fighting with the problem. Because the fighting with the problem will be for the rest of our days. Whereas getting the root cause, the problem disappears. There are blood tests. There are new blood tests, new from last year, approved by the FDA, the agency that regulates the drugs in this country in the medical tests. And there are several those are blood tests before where you need to do a spinal tap, and it was complicated. Now is of easy access, and we are helping a group of young kids who are trying to develop the test by using saliva samples. So that will be the great. The person can tell us. We can test right away at the office. We can do blood tests, and if the person, and we suspect that there is a good indication of memory issues or cognitive issues, then we do the MRI and start the treatment. And as I mentioned, he's the master of reversion.
Excellent. So you've talked a little bit about nutrition being very important. And you've talked about some simple changes that people can make. Talk a little bit about the innovative therapies that IV therapy is. It's becoming more popular, and how's that helping?
Yeah, there is a not new therapies, actually are old therapies, but since we now know more clearly what happened, how our lifestyle change cause changes in the brain, and we know what those changes are, we are targeting. It's called the hallmarks in the lingo, in the medical lingo, the hallmarks of neurodegenerative diseases, which is what are the main characteristics of the processes in the brain that led to me lose neurons, and as a result I lost memory. Food rich on sugars, processed sugars. Probably you might not like what I'm going to say. Bread is very processed food in this country. Soda is not that good. Candies and a lot of food that are in packages has a lot of sugar, because if I make a product and I want to hook you up in the product, I offer you a lot of sugar so you remember me after I give it to you, so you come back to buy my product. Those sugars cause a lot of inflammation in the brain, little by little, until the cell shrink and die. So what we try to use are intravenous treatments to reduce this oxidation, this rusting of the brain, and decrease the inflammation, so new cells can have a ground, a soil to grow. So first we try to eliminate the oxidation and the inflammation. Then we try to revive a vital little teeny small thing in the cells called mitochondria. Those mitochondria, we now today know, they start to die at the cell die. The loss of the mitochondria is the loss of the part of the body that allowed me to get energy from food, from the sun, from love from other people, that energy that transform my own cells in more energy and more new cells. So we do treatments for these mitochondria. It's the same similar treatment that people are using today for rejuvenation.
Oh, okay.
People who wants to be younger. And it's possible to get, we are now defining who is old and who is young. I am 63 years young by chronologic age, but through testing, we can determine what is my cell age. The key is being younger than your chronologic age. My cell age is about 49, 51 years old. And that reduces your chances of diseases like dementia, cancer, heart disease, strokes. Why young people are having cancer in this country now? We see more and more young people because unfortunately, but it's reversible. Unfortunately, young people are becoming biologically older. So you can be 31, but because your lifestyle and living situations, you can be 52, 61. We in our clinic see good amount of young people now with cancer, with dementia. When we investigate, again, go to causes that are reversible and that are modifiable. So the intravenous treatments, we use it to help people to reduce inflammation, reduce oxidation, promote the growth of new cells.
So it's a lot of information. We are coming up towards the end of our conversation.
He hasn't talked
He
yet.
hasn't talked.
Do I need to move over here? Okay, Dr. Valhuerdi, you are smarter than me.
What do you have to say?
Yeah, okay.
How can you follow that?
I'm better hearing, because this is my conventional previous experience comes from a clinician trained in neurology, working with all brain aging process just to stop. But this is not the solution. The solution is how to promote from primary schools. Imagine primary school with smell testing in young people to increase the learning, because the hippocampus, this specific seahorse shape part of the brain, is the responsible not only of the memory, is the responsible of the learning.
Interesting.
Then you have the possibility to increase your learning and to recover your memory, using specific essential oils. And our program have in the core the nutrition. We have an amazing nutritionist there. She is my nutritionist too.
Yeah.
That's why I was losing the 39 pounds in 3 months.
Wow.
Eating more,
Yeah.
but not sugar.
Yeah.
Then my previous culture was more than bread, rice, pasta. Then for the last year, just protein, vegetables, oils. I remember Melissa telling to the patient, low fat.
Mm-hmm.
How was possible? Low fat, the brain is 90% of the brain is fat. And the other is water. How low fat?
Yeah.
Low fat was a good option coming from Framingham Heart Study. Do you remember that?
Okay.
Coming from 1948, and they were the first using the term risk factor in all the world. That's why this area is in the core of health
Oh, I did not know
of
that.
all the world.
Wow.
This is a reference of population-based study is Framingham Heart Study. And I have a dream. Can we make a Shirley brain study to know what is the real prevalence of memory complaint, subjective
Yeah.
cognitive decline, my cognitive impairment? This is a process, chronic, almost normal. And most of the people said, it's normal. I'm aging. No, it's not normal. Do you remember some people living more than 90 with a completely normal? This is a possibility for the rest of the people too. That's why in the core of all of this is many exercises to increase the way that the brain, as Dr. Balaguera said, clean all of the pieces of proteins that are keeping there and damaging.
Yeah.
We have many cells there trying to protect, because the brain is so fragile.
Yeah.
It's not the same with the rest. That's why we have so many bones, because the rest of the organs is not so protected. The only way to change something is using the verbs in first person singular. I'm, because most of the people wait to live many years doing what? Doing nothing? What about the new cells growing every day, waiting for what kind of activity?
Yeah.
Nothing? Then this is the way to reverse, to stop and to reverse not only dementia as Alzheimer or cerebrovascular dementia, Lewy dementia, is for the rest of neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's disease and many others.
Which is reversible.
Yeah.
ALS, which is irreversible. I want to give a special thanks to AJ of Clear Signal Productions. He's the podcast producer for making this episode possible.
You're taking the words out of my mouth.
Oh, I can read your mind.
You can read my mind. So, all right, it's a lot of information for people. So where are you located?
We are located in 73 Front Street in Shirley,
And
Eh.
we have a website.
and it's a website, catallagewellness.com, and there is the list of services that we are happy to provide to the people who can benefit from that.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing lots of great information. I think we need to schedule a follow-up. I feel like there's so much more that you want to say.
Oh yeah, much more for sure.
Well, we'll work on scheduling another session.
Absolutely.
You already thanked AJ. We're so appreciative of AJ. Thank you to our listeners for tuning in, and we look forward to next episode where we can learn more about the amazing businesses in our region.